or school companion health plan for as little as $2,540 per month. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, all set for the Northeast St. Anne by-election tomorrow. JCF denies reports of member arrest in connection to soldier's death. And Ocho Rios market to get a further $20 million upgrade. We also have our Sunday premiere of Inspire Jamaica, while in sports, referees set to return for schoolboy football on Monday. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's Sunday, September 29, 2024. I'm TK Dawkins. The Electoral Office of Jamaica, the EOJ, is finalizing preparations for the by-election in the St. Anne Northeastern Constituency, scheduled for tomorrow, Monday, September 30. The polls will open at 7 a.m. and close at 5 p.m., after which the preliminary counting of ballots will immediately take place at each polling station. Training has been completed for election day workers who will be deployed to conduct the polls in 146 polling stations across 27 voting locations, constituency-wide. There are 43,827 registered voters in the St. Anne Northeastern constituency, as per the May 31, 2024 voters list that will be used for the by-election. Only electors registered to vote in this constituency will be allowed to vote in the by-election. Voters are entitled to 3 hours time off from work to vote in the by-election. The 3 hours time off to vote is in addition to the usual lunch hour. The law, however, does not apply to persons who commence work at 10 a.m. or later or end work at or before 2 p.m. Voters are being reminded to take their voter ID card to the polling station and that the use or display of cell phones, cameras, or other recording devices is not allowed inside polling stations. The election will be monitored by the Election Center, a hub for receiving and validating reports on incidents on the ground and providing resolutions. The Northeast St. Anne seat was formerly held by the JLP's Marsha Smith, who resigned with immediate effect on September 3, having served for 4 years. The JLP's candidate for the by-election is former Senator and Cabinet Minister Matthew Samuda, Chase Albert Neal of the United Independence Congress, the UIC, and David Fritz Anderson, who is running as an independent. The People's National Party, the PNP, has decided not to field a candidate for this by-election. For the period January 1 to September 19, 2024, the Director of Public Prosecutions has handed down rulings for charge in 22 cases investigated by the Independent Commission of Investigations. The update comes as the Commissioner of INDECOM, Hugh Faulkner, reports that investigations have commenced into an additional 3 deaths in custody since September 23. Joel Crosskill provides the latest.
Investigative teams from INDECOM are investigating 3 deaths in custody during the period September 23 to 29, 2024. In 2 of the incidents, the deceased remandees are being held at the Halfway Tree Police Station. Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, Hugh Faulkner, provides additional details.
On September 23, 2024, Mr. David Satchel, 59 years old, from Padmore District, St. Andrew, was reportedly found unresponsive in his cell. Mr. Satchel was transferred to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors on duty pronounced him dead. On September 27, 2024, Mr. Donovan Phillips, age 68, of a Beeston Street address, was reportedly observed to be in distress in his cell. Mr. Phillips was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by the doctor on duty.
In the 3rd case, Mr. Patrick Perry, who on September 21 was remanded by the court and being held at the Buff Bay Police Station, was reportedly assaulted while in custody.
That investigation is in progress. Mr. Perry, who was severely injured, was taken to the N.E.S.A Bay Hospital and later transferred to the KPH, where he succumbed to his injuries on September 29, 2024. In matters regarding the death of persons in custody of the state, the INDECOM team interviews law enforcement personnel in addition to persons in custody, canvass for CCTV or any digital footage, collect any forensic material available, attend the postmortem examination, and utilize material from the postmortem report to help inform its findings. Lab reports are also critical to the investigative process.
On conclusion of any investigative process, the Commissioner explains that the cases are then submitted to the Director of Public Prosecutions for a ruling.
For the period January 1 this year to September 19 this year, 2024, the Director of Public Prosecutions has handed down rulings for charge in 22 cases investigated by INDECOM. These cases involve JCF officers, Department of Corrections officers, and JDF personnel.
Joel Crosskill, CVM News.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, has responded to reports circulating across various media suggesting that a serving member of the JCF has been arrested in connection with the homicide of Jamaica Defence Force JDF Private E.J. Domville. The Constabulary Force states categorically that these reports are false and that no serving member of the JCF has been taken into custody in relation to this matter. As part of the investigation into the death of Private Domville, which occurred on Friday, August 23 in Kingston, detectives from the JCF have pursued several lines of inquiry. On Saturday, September 28, the police say they apprehended a 31-year-old resident of Charles Street. The individual was subsequently taken into the Major Investigations Division for questioning. The JCF adds that it is important to clarify that the individual in question is not a serving member of the JCF, as he was dismissed as a trainee from the force over 2 years ago, following an unrelated incident. His apprehension occurred during the course of the investigation, but is not directly connected to the death of the JDF private. The JCF adds that it remains committed to working closely with its partners in the JDF to bring the investigation to a swift and just conclusion. A pedestrian has lost her life after she was mowed down by a motor car in downtown Kingston on Thursday. It's reported that at approximately 11 a.m., a Honda Fit was traveling in a westerly direction along Charles Street when it collided with a Toyota Probox going in an easterly direction. As a result, the Honda Fit then slammed into the barriers at the sidewalk of P.A. Benjamin Manufacturing Company Limited, where the woman was standing. She succumbed to her injuries on spot, while both drivers were rushed to the hospital.
We need to design roads that are more pedestrian-friendly, better sidewalks, design roads where there are humps on the roads in particular areas so that people cannot speed. More considerations about roundabouts and other traffic calming measures, especially within the built-up areas, the corporate area, where 3 of the fatalities took place, and in Montego Bay, where the other one took place. We have to do road safety audits on designs to be built to make sure there are components in there for traffic calming and for protection of pedestrians. And we have to do audits on existing roadways to find a way to separate vehicular traffic.
Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, the N.R.A.C., Dr. Lucian Jones. Among panelists at the 8th Caribbean Infrastructure Forum held in Miami, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, opined on the matter of the lack of investment in human capital. Dr. Tufton told the group of financiers the future of healthcare should also include partnerships with digital technology as well as human resource training across borders. Here is more.
Earlier this week, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, sat on a panel at the 8th Caribbean Infrastructure Forum, CARIF. The minister's presentation emphasized the need for transformational processes to accompany the digitizing of health records and other enhancements to be made to existing infrastructure.
Let's be frank, over time, it will require a different approach. The real transformation that we see doesn't come with the new building or the new piece of equipment. It comes from how we utilize that building and that equipment.
He urges persons to think along the lines of improving project management.
If you're developing a financing arrangement for a project, you should embed in a very clear and concise way a project management function to ensure quality control, recognizing, again, which is my final point, that there is an HR deficit within the region. Small island states oftentimes do not have sufficient numbers, and certainly in healthcare, to provide the capacity, the human capacity, to support the build-out of these institutions, hospitals.
Dr. Tufton highlighted that many trained personnel have migrated, causing a lack of expertise to care for the resources being upgraded or implemented.
A lot of the traditional systems do not sufficiently factor maintaining the infrastructure that we're investing in. And it is suboptimal and likely to lead to spending money and not getting the full value of that money. And I think within those loan arrangements and financing arrangements, we have to deliberately and more targetedly provide for how this equipment or infrastructure is going to be maintained.
The health minister says that leasing as opposed to purchasing equipment is one way to help managing finances once sustainable maintenance and repairs are factored in. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Moy Crawford, has provided a schedule of work intended to clear roadways and drains in the constituency after a period of heavy rainfall in the parish following the passage of a tropical wave. The MP says that sections of the Winston Jones Highway are among the priority areas of concentration.
It is not just the Winston Jones Highway that has been done under this program. Already work would have been completed in sections of Porous along the main road. Work has also started along Old Melrose. A team will be moving along from the Williamsfield roundabout into Royal Flat along Caledonia Road. Another team will begin shortly too from the Royal Flat entrance to New Hall, straight along that corridor going back to Richmond. Works will also commence along the Carteret Road corridor and the Mandeville to Rods Corner corridor, particularly to the Keeplef area, and then works along the corridor leading to Northern Caribbean University.
The Central Manchester MP also expressed frustration at garbage disposal practices that continue to stymie the additional efforts that have been taken to supplement the regular removal of garbage buildup from communities.
I want to use this opportunity as well to appeal to constituents. Please, you have to start practicing proper containerization of your waste. I have gone out there with private trucks that I have contracted to remove garbage, and because the wastes are not properly containerized, what would take the operators 1 hour, 30 minutes is taking them 3 hours, 5 hours. If one area is taking 2 hours, 3 hours, then understandably, the team is not able to move into other communities.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is on a mission to upgrade markets across the island. The Ocherius Market in St. Anne benefited from this project and can look forward to an additional $20 million for further work. Here is Adrian Williams with the details.
Access to public sanitary facilities is an important aspect in promoting proper hygienic practices. This is why the Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, has reopened the new bathroom facilities in the Ocherius Market.
We're going to be providing an additional $20 million for further works to be done on the Ocherius Market. So between the St. Ann's Bay Market and the Orcharius Market in less than a week. The government of Prime Minister Andrew N.E.S.A. will be providing $35 million for further improvements on the market.
The minister highlighted that women make up approximately 80% of the population using the market, making it even more important to have these facilities.
Majority of the vendors are females. Most of the shoppers are females. And you know, it is difficult for a female to take care of themselves when the proper facilities are not in place.
Mackenzie says the fees collected by the municipal corporations are not adequate for maintenance of the markets.
But despite that, it is the responsibility of local government to provide the funding to assist in the necessary repairs and maintenance of our markets right across the country.
He says an additional $15 million will be made available to do further work on the St. Ann's Bay market. He, however, emphasized that vendors and other users of the facilities must play their part in its upkeep.
But what is important is that when we build these facilities, the persons who use them takes personal responsibility in how they use the facilities.
Mackenzie, in his sectoral presentation, announced a $200 million allocation for the maintenance of major markets across the island. The minister says all markets can look forward to upgraded sanitary facilities. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Stay with us. More to come from News at 7 after the break.
Insurance gone up again? Gotta go faster. It gas our insurance.
Driver, let's go.
Do you really want to stick with the same old insurer? For the first time in Jamaica, taxis, minibuses, coasters, whatever you drive, MIBinsure.com will find you an insurer who will slash your premium by up to 60%. They all claim to save you money, but only MIB Insure actually can. Switch to MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Protect yourself from the bite of this mosquito.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Kali's Kelly Yoga.
Hey, it's Robin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica, let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. It's now time for regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Guyana's healthcare system is being developed into a world-class one through the construction of new facilities, the provision of much-needed services, and digitization, according to President Dr. Irfan Ali. We hear more from Newsroom Guyana.
We are working on delivering to the citizens of Guyana and also the citizens of the CARICOM region, because I've made it very clear that the prosperity of Guyana must be the prosperity of the people of the region also. And how do we create a healthcare system that people can trust, that people would want to be a part of, that can meet the needs of the population, and that can also be futuristic. Doing that in a healthcare system that was broken and lack the key infrastructure require us, first of all, to build out the existing system, to build futuristically on what the healthcare system will need, and also to ensure that technology, digitization, research and development, the training of our human resource personnel, having the doctors, the nurses, to support that healthcare system is all put together. For that, we need partnership.
Government is working to position Barbados as a global hub for research and development. Prime Minister Mia Moore-Motley says Barbados has been intentional in crafting and enabling policy frameworks to assist in that regard. CBC News Barbados has the details.
The 50% tax credits on investment in AI, the blue economy, and on research and development in health are just some of the areas that we are developing to attract innovation investment to the island. The tax rate for patent boxes at 4.5% is also an attractive incentive to be able to encourage persons to do the research on island and to be able to benefit extensively both from our domestic taxation but with the network of treaties that we have with other countries. We aim to be a hub for inventors, for thinkers, yes, even for dreamers who want to create and do research and who want to be able to add value to the global public goods that are so necessary to keep this world stable.
And in international news, Hurricane Helene has left at least 43 people dead as it pummeled the southeastern United States. The storm made landfall in Florida not long before midnight on Friday, causing some of the worst flooding ever seen in the Sunshine State. Al Jazeera has that report.
As the sun came up, the devastation became clear. This is Perry. When Helene hit, she hit here first. The storm surge, the relentless rains, flooding homes along Florida's coast. The 200-kilometer-an-hour winds as Helene's furious Category 4 power slammed into the Big Bend area.
We've had thousands of missions successfully completed in the overnight hours.
When your house is on fire, it is water you need, but water is the last thing they want here. That is what caused this. On the streets of Fort Myers, the rescuing was done by boat just as the power was going out. This is Tallahassee as Helene brushed it late at night, still with devastating force. And this is Tallahassee the morning after. Here, they were preparing for major devastation, not so much from storm surge, because this city is inland, but here it was all about the wind. You've got these massive oak trees all around. You've got these low-hanging power lines. When the trees started to fall, they hit the power lines and they took out power to thousands of homes. A very different type of damage compared to those who were on the coast. From space, you can see just how big Helene was.
And that's it for regional and international news.
The COVID-19 era will long be remembered for flooding the technologically driven superhighway. It was during that extended downtime that the family of one of our newest inspirees discovered ways to improve learning capabilities for their child. Today, now, they are sharing that knowledge with other parents. It's over to Caroline Brown for Inspire Jamaica.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Alex, good morning. Hi. Hi. Welcome to Genesis.
That conversation between a father and his 13-year-old son represents a breakthrough. You see, Alexavier Alex Helene, the couple's only child, was diagnosed at age 3 as being on the severe end of the autism spectrum. The Helenes are, however, well past the acceptance phase of this stigma. In fact, they've been documenting their experiences and sharing it on a platform they call Autistic Edge, a COVID dream.
I went to YouTube University and Google College. Yeah, and that was where I kind of learned quite a bit of technique. In my own research that I have done, we started working with him at home, having a little bit more flexibility. And in COVID, we started getting our first organized words. I believe the first word he said in COVID was daddy. I don't feel bad. I taught him, right? I taught him to say daddy. So I teach daddy and mommy and daddy teach mommy. So that's how we do it. And so now he's able to tell you hi, bye. There's a lot more that he is now able to do with our at-home intervention program.
Yeah. I want to add a little bit too, because YouTube for us is therapy.
We're going to talk about banana. Whoa, I like how the banana sound. Banana bread, it is so sweet. You want to see me baking my teeth. Banana. No, me not remember the rest of the song. Did you know that bananas can boost speech therapy progress? Are you intrigued? Stick around and I'll show you how.
Well, so the channel itself has been a blessing and a ministry, right? And we've been reaching folks, you know, far and wide as a result.
Although Alex is still in the category of non-verbal, he's a model student, jumping over hurdles like being a picky eater.
He will just eat one item every single day, and that was very annoying to us. Yeah. But as we go along, we have persons in our life that has been, you know, very patient with us and patient with him as well.
And now, although he eats healthy,
Alex is on a seafood diet. When I say seafood diet, anything him see, him eat. That is it.
That's the seafood.
That's the seafood diet. Right.
These parents take time to know their child and carefully design a lesson plan even during summer.
Speech therapy was one of our biggest areas. Motor therapy, where we work on fine motor and gross motor skills, and we work on, you know, sensory issues and all of that.
Now add to the fun activities before the start of school again, road and field trips, including to the zoo. The first name calling with one particular animal there was a real test.
When he saw the monkey and I tried to say, Alex, this is monkey, he said, mommy. Nothing could have get him to say that different, girl. Alex, this is monkey, mommy. Yes. And oh my God, I felt so bad. But anyway, it was a good exercise. But let me tell you, I was a proud mommy this year when we went. Who is this mommy? Who is that monkey? You can't talk to me again. You can't talk to me. So I don't know when to laugh after me. My time to laugh now. Yeah, come here, have a son. Give me Give me 5. Yeah. Right. What's the name of the animal? Monkey. Monkey. And Alex gets a medal for the correct pronunciation of monkey. 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 So much salt. It's a monkey, not a mommy. It's a mommy. What works for us may not necessarily work for others, but you can try, right? Because building a program and finding the program is one of the most difficult things. You have to be thinking outside of the box all the time.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can.
Join us for sports with Ronaldo Adams after the break.
I go show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of it. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
You! Come and pick up your order.
Oh, okay.
For the juicy, crunchy, irresistible taste of a KFC Big Deal, some people will do anything.
That's me on the corner. People don't bother feel like you can predict who is going to be in the shop with me. A ship carry you back again. Controversial. How old were you?
8 years old.
Now we're contemplating. These are the digits.
Oh.
What kind of episode this one? Another junction in life.
I have 2 left foot there, sir.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man. See the back of the Nigeria now. This is my show, and you will not drop word from me.
They even know them things.
DJ, I can't say that no. You're going to mash up some house.
You know, say Baba was really there ready to make your cut.
So, where you cut before? The cut, okay.
Now I'm where I want to be.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
Father, what you doing again?
Writing the opera Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Jamaican opera, Marsha.
Jamaican opera?
Yes. It's about the greatest of prophets.
When is it going to be?
5th and 6th of October. One weekend only.
Where can I get my ticket?
You have to check social media, Master.
Social media?
Social media.
What father you got high-tech, man?
Yeah, man.
Isaiah, October 5 and 6 at the National Arena. 1 weekend only. Don't you miss it.
Find Central Pitside, brought to you by INDECOM, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Get ready for a schoolboy football doubleheader. First up, 2023 Ben Francis Cup winners McGraw battle Chowley Mount at 1:30 p.m. Then, Dintle Technical and Uaten High square off at 3:30 p.m. The Costa Cup doubleheader, October 5. See it happen on CVM TV.
Schoolboy Football, brought to you by INDECOM, AIM Financial Services, Texaco, and Connex.
Things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Bollywood has never been this good. Catch Made for Each Other weekdays at 12:30 p.m. on your drama station. Brought to you by
Hyundai